Welcome to Good News Week. And the big news? There's a new bully in town. And that bully's name is China. They're holding Australia's head in the dunny in Flushing in a manoeuvre known as the Peking toilet duck. And for some reason, we're surprised. Sure, they're a totalitarian communist state which shoots dissidents and runs labour camps, but they're a modern totalitarian state. They make iPods in labour camps. Our fearless Prime Minister won't complain because he's too busy learning the Mandarin for "Would you like me to lick you clean?" After a deal to buy a large chunk of Rio Tinto went sour, Rio executive Stern Hu and 3 others were thrown into jail. It's outrageous. Who would have thought a deal with the Chinese government would tank? There's an old Chinese saying, kill the chicken to scare the monkey. We're the chicken, America is the monkey, and we're going to die. China is flexing its muscles here to send a message to the US, and that message is, one more move and stupid gets it. We might well be the chicken, but we have a few sayings of our own, so... Fair shake of the sauce bottle, China. Hey. The good news is, there is a way to get back at them. Rub our balls on all the coal. Rub our balls on the coal. And while we're on the subject, a new survey by Inside China magazine says prostitutes are more trustworthy than politicians. China has a long, proud history of prostitution. That's why they built the wall. The survey found prostitutes were trustworthy, mostly because they were prepared to put their mouth where your money was. Politicians were way down the list, but prostitutes came third after farmers and priests. At least they sounded like they came. The Chinese space program is also going strong, but if you want to be an astronaut, you have to comply with a list of 100 rules designed to weed out unsuitable, unhealthy and smelly people. Bad BO is no joke in a space shuttle. You know, in zero gravity, spray on deodorant just propels you around the room. Even if you comply with all 100 rules, you won't blast off unless your wife agrees. But most wives are happy for their man to go into space just to stop him lying on the couch all day, doing countdowns with a wok on his head. And that's the good news.
It's good news week. Someone dropped the bomb somewhere, contaminating the atmosphere and blackening the sky. It's good news week. Someone found a way to give the rotting dead a will to live, go on and never die. It's good news week.
Now,
It's good news week.
thank you, good evening. Tonight, with our globes warming gently in the sun, the radiant ratbag, Claire Hooper. He's just finished a season at the Comedy Store in Sydney, and he's still not sure where he is. America's most wanted, Tony Woods. They're robbed, I tell you, robbed. Robbed on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
But still holding her sequence high. The light, fantastic Fiona O'Loughlin. Robbed. And they're showing no fear at the monster under the bed, Mikey Robbins. Host of Rock Whiz, lover of Eurovision, queen of op shops, Julia Zemiro. And he's just back from the Byron Bay Writers' Festival with his book, Playing Poker with the SAS, the giant of a man, Tom Gleeson. How'd it go in Byron? Was it joy all round in Byron?
Oh, yeah, it was lovely. Because you know what happens at a writers' festival? You sit down, people ask you questions, and the audience actually listens to the answers. Oh. It's amazing. It's not like this show at all.
And what happens at a writers' festival in Byron?
Yeah, well, it's not just the audience, though. Yeah. So, yeah, I got very creative there. I came up with a new idea for a book.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Do you want to tell us?
Yeah, yes. It's called I'm Hungry.
And Miss Zemiro, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you for asking, Paul.
How's Rockwiz going?
Rockwiz is going very well. We're into our 7th series.
7th. Come on, everyone. Bit of joy.
I don't like it because I haven't been on it, but when I've been on it, I'll love it.
If you could sing, if you were a rock star or a person who sang, do you have a song that you could sing? If we could have you on, if you could sing a song.
I used to be in a band. I actually played the drums.
Oh, you did too?
Yeah.
University days, I remember. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well...
I'm glad you remembered. That was really good, yeah.
Tony, we had you on the show a while ago and it was absolutely marvellous.
Yeah.
And you've come back to join us again.
I left since the last time I was here, and I went back to America, and everybody's like, wow, you're like a big star in Australia. Yeah.
Hey, Tony, just left the Writers' Festival, have you?
Yeah.
I remember you there, Tony. I think you sold me something.
And I want my money.
And Fiona O'Loughlin. Yeah.
I know. Little heartbroken.
Yeah?
Yeah, I loved it. I love dancing.
Yeah.
I love being in the arms of a 27-year-old for 6 I was in the arms of this beautiful 27-year-old, and my husband's back in Alice Springs voting for me. What a dick!
And so what happens behind the scenes in that show? Is there lots of loving between the dancers and their partners? Because you're very close, aren't you? And you're sweaty and you work together and it's...
Yeah,
it must be difficult not to fall into that chasm of love.
I thought it was really weird the first day we were backstage and my partner just held my hand. He said, come on. I'm like, why are you doing that?
I was thinking the same thing.
And then I grew to love it. Yeah.
Me too.
Well, we're going to open this can of worms now with What's the Story? Claire, Tony, Fiona, on your bikes!
Sure. Scooter dealer? Oh, those granny scooters.
Yeah.
Consumer Affairs Minister.
Oh, dear.
All right.
Heading down the highway. Looking for adventure.
That's me next comedy festival. I don't know what the story is, but I reckon that would be the crappiest day of your life, the day you have to go and buy one of them. That's it, isn't it? That's it. It's not like you buy your first car, you go with your dad. You buy your first one of those, you go with your daughter. Swing by the funeral parlour on the way home and pick out a car.
The news story is about complaints, well, you know, like basically warnings that too many people are dying in scooter-related accidents. People aren't taking the lethality of the vehicle seriously. But I mean, if you're at the end of your life, go for it. Seriously, if you're in a scooter, just have an awesome I will be.
Yeah, for a start, take that piss-and electric engine out, whack in a V8.
Handicapped people in America use wheelchairs. Those scooters are for fat people.
Yeah. They're everywhere in Disneyland, aren't they?
Disneyland, the grocery store, and it's like, you know, you got people coming in like with a walker and they can't get a motor scooter because the fat people are in the cookie section.
They got it. The federal government has been forced to issue a blunt warning about the dangers of mobility scooters after an alarming increase in injuries and deaths. Accidents or spectacular euthanasia. The fatalities have occurred despite the scooter's top speed of just 10 kilometres an hour, although they do go much faster in front of a train. It's wrong. In one tragic crash, 2 scooter drivers collided head-on with a gentle dock, shattering every bone in their bodies. But what a way to go, charging into oncoming traffic like a snail with a very slow death wish. The wind in your few remaining hairs, the sun on your pruny, leather-like skin, the cutest old duck in the retirement village riding pillion and a fancy hooter on your steering wheel to startle any young'uns that get in your way. Oh, that's living, baby. That's barely living. Oh, it's a performance piece. Mikey, Julia, Tom, show us what you've got.
Anytime, baby.
Anytime.
I miss him.
So do I.
Oh.
Hello.
Popular.
She loves him.
Oh, be very, very quiet. I'm hunting Putin.
Oh, he loves getting it off, doesn't he? Loves
does.
getting the gear off, going camping. He's a man of the land, Vlad.
I mean, can this bloke get any more broke back?
Yeah. Wouldn't it be nice to see Kevin Rudd doing that? Hey, you reckon shirt off, man boobs out. Doing it for working families, check me out.
Well, yeah, he is Russia's best-looking leader. When you consider his competition is Stalin, Brezhnev and Gorbachev. Yet again, more photos are filtered out of him being outdoorsy, riding horses, hunting, shirts off and nipples up.
They got it. 10 points going away. Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin has done it again with a parade of peck-rippling pics for your perving pleasure. Prime Minister, prime meat. Vlad is 56, a Libra, and his hobbies include horse riding, water skiing and world domination. He would have removed his pants too, but he didn't want to intimidate the horse. Putin's so popular these days, he only has to rig elections for fun. But so what? It's not like Kevin Rudd is a wimpy, nerdy bureaucrat. Give him the wrong meat for dinner, and he's a tiger. So after one fleshy round of Good News Week, the Hooper team are on 10 points, the Robbins team are on 10 points. Coming up, the circus.
It's Good News Week. It's Good News Week.
During the break, as we compared nipples, both teams were given 3 clues to a recent strange but true story. Hooper, Woods and O'Loughlin have a grill.
This isn't my prop. I just want to know if anyone knows how to attach this back to my car.
A carving knife. Oh, watch out, that's scary. That scares me.
I've had a lot of knives in my day, dog, but I wouldn't trust this one in my pocket.
And this.
Food, glorious food, hot sausage and mustard. While we're in the mood, cold jelly and custard, peas, puddings and saveloys. What is the next question? Rich gentlemen of it, boys. Indigestion.
Wow, those... I felt like I'd walked into a church hall into some amateur production of Oliver.
You make a very cute orphan.
Thank you, but I am a singer, not a dancer. No, a dancer, not a singer.
You know what, Fiona? When you used to drink, you would have got that the right way round.
And Robin, Zemiro and Gleeson got...
Do I have to put the hat on?
Yes.
You should see my late night version of that.
We also have a ring.
Oh. Actually, I didn't realise this was here all along, though. Thank God for that.
Yeah, well,
I thought I was going to have to borrow a ping pong ball. Reminds me of a... Reminds me of a condom I broke once.
Oh, for God's sake, man. Don't you have any self-respect?
And finally, to elevate the show somewhat, this.
You don't know what you'll find. Why don't you come with me, little girl, on a magic carpet ride? Stop it there. Might do a little bit longer later. Steppenwolf, great band. Put the microphone down.
All will become clear at the end of the show. Right now, the world news game called 3.5 Corners. Hooper team.
Oh,
for
hello.
you. In South Africa, a cop who lost his accommodation allowance is now doing what in protest? Yes! That's weird.
Yes,
no one's
yes.
ever done that before.
Isn't it nice? No, I think it's lovely. It's charming. It's very year
Thank
nine.
you.
I love it.
Can I answer now?
Yes.
Yes.
Go on.
A cop who lost his allowance
Yes.
for living
Yes.
is now living in the cop shop.
That's right. He's living in the police station. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well done, Fiona.
Fiona, when you used to drink, you used to get a lot more laughs before you got it right. You used to have all this, and you'd tell all these wild stories, and it was great. It was really entertaining. And now that you've stopped drinking, you're just getting the answers right.
I know. Things are going so well for me.
So, you're playing some mental game, aren't you? Are you, Tom?
No, I'm not trying to intimidate anyone. Hey, would you like a sip?
In Israel, residents are turning out in droves at sunset after numerous sightings of what?
Mermaids.
Yep.
Mermaids, yes. And they're offering $1.2 million for anyone that can prove the existence of mermaids. I think that's a really safe bet. I don't know why they didn't offer $50 bazillion.
So here's the thing. They often say when it's a mermaid that it's it's a dugong. How long do you have to be at sea to think, yeah, maybe?
I'd love it if mermaids were real. That'd be great. I love all the myth behind it. The fishy tail, it'd be great. Oh, she's got to get land legs to fall in love. Oh, kill herself. It's great.
I must admit, I've always struggled with mermaids, though, because they always seem so attractive, but when you actually wanted to do what you wanted to do, what would you do?
Well, actually, no, he's right. Many years ago, I was actually overseas and I picked up a mermaid, and basically you go back to the hotel, she lays her eggs in the corner, and then you go over and spawn on them.
Yeah, but you know the great thing, Tom, they can always breathe underwater.
And also...
But they always have that fishy smell about them.
Because there's a lot of little children out there thinking mermaids, how cute and wonderful and sweet, and we've just taken them down a very bad road. So a mermaid, half girl, half fish, jumping like a dolphin and doing all kinds of tricks, has been apparently spotted in Israel.
Wow.
Oh, so they had a writers' festival there too.
The last one now.
Yes.
In the US, a 60-year-old man has been found guilty of battery after an incident at Disney World. What did he do?
A fat lady in one of those scooters.
He did a fat lady in one of those...
Yeah, didn't he attack a mascot, a
Did he punch Goofy?
Who hasn't?
Actually, that sounds like a fart. Well, who punched Goofy?
Come on, this is...
You don't want to laugh at it, but you're going to.
I am laughing.
Yeah.
Do you know it?
Well, yeah, I do know it. He beat up a character. Not Mickey.
No.
You can't get to Mickey. That's like getting to the president. Really. Mickey's like on a big island with a thing with like security and stuff. You know, like 3 big black dudes beside him. Like, don't touch Mickey, dog. But the other ones, you can just...
Wasn't it, even though it's called battery, wasn't he just messing around?
Yeah.
Oh,
Going to hug
yeah,
on-
like a bit of a...
On
Went a
Mickey's
bit of a
partner,
grope.
Mickey's...
Oh, Minnie.
Minnie, thank you.
Grab Minnie by the arse.
That's it.
Yes.
Has them all.
You know, Mr. Gleeson, Tom, it's not funny, but correct.
Ready for a spin round the 3.5 corners Robin's team?
Sure thing, Chuckles.
In South Australia, 12 market gardeners have been robbed. What did the thieves take?
Cucumbers. They took a... I know. Before we even go there, they've already fingerprinted all the lesbians.
Is it something hydroponic, maybe?
No,
he's right, he's
it was
right.
cucumbers.
Do you know how many?
It was like tons of cucumbers.
Yes, you know, can you give a price on it?
Lots.
$10,000 worth of cucumbers. Stolen.
So Katie Lang is tearing?
A week later. In the UK, researchers have found what liquid may be as good as milk in preventing osteoporosis.
Cement. You drink cement.
Cement.
Makes your bones... it's close, but it's actually beer.
Beer, you have it.
Wow! Great!
Fiona,
Yeah.
I hope you really like milk. I hope you like milk because that's all you got left, love.
The woman does the brave thing, goes nationwide with a story, and you've just been waiting to slap it out, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I've been sitting at home watching Dancing with the Stars going, soft. I can't wait till I see her again. We used to have some great nights, and now it's all going to be boring cups of tea and biscuits. I turned to drinking, actually, ironically.
I tell you what, if you're going to have a public fall from grace like I had, you want to be married to a Territorian man because it was absolutely the most horrifying thing. All over the papers. I had a bit of a... We call it the incident. He walks into the Channel 7 studios, haven't seen him since it all happened. He walks in, he goes, how you going? It's like I'd burnt the toast.
Tell me.
You're amazing, Fiona.
You are amazing.
You are amazing.
I was amazing.
You are amazing. You're amazing, Fiona. It's really hard to stop drinking. I do it every week on working days. Every Monday, I just stop drinking till Friday, start drinking again, and it's very hard on Monday to not drink again.
You asshole.
Whoa.
I do know, Fiona. You do know that, yeah? Like we didn't just meet, you know that? All right, cool. All right.
In Japan, scientists have used stem cells to grow what human body part?
Oh,
Testicles. Actually, she's close. Oh, no, not close, but it's teeth.
Teeth?
Yeah, teeth. Teeth. Yeah, it's creepy, but it's true.
Yep, they got it. Thank you. That's it. It's over. In Japan, scientists have found a way to grow teeth from stem cells and implant them into the mouth of a mouse. This is fantastic news. Is there anything we can't grow on mice? That's one small tooth for a man, one giant overbite for mousekind. Yes, within 15 years, you too will have the smile of a newsreader and an unexpected desire to chew through wiring. If the scientists are right, the same technology could be used to grow other organs inside the body, like hearts, kidneys and livers. Depends on the size of your mouse. It's such a shame. Given enough time, we might have even been able to rebuild Michael Jackson's head. Oh, yeah, it still hurts, doesn't it? Too early. Too early. The Hoopers are now on 30 points. The Robinsons, 30 points. After the break, are you stupider than a fifth grader?
It's Good News Week. It's Good News Week.
This is the game we call Are You Stupider Than a Fifth Grader?
Okay, share it with the class.
She just told me what happened.
Does everyone know what happened here? Go on, give them a quick précis.
Yeah, I collapsed on stage in Brisbane. It was the same colour as that was my downfall. And I was just saying to Tony, when you wake up the morning after and, you might have left your boots on or something, try waking up and you... Oh, heart monitor. I don't remember buying a nightie that does up at the back.
This is the game we call Are You Stupider Than a Fifth Grader? Tony Woods, come on down. Is that right?
It's like watching the world's lamest game of musical chairs.
The music stopped half an hour ago.
No, that's comfy. Is that comfy?
That's
It's
comfy.
awkward. I find it awkward.
Those are nice shoes, man.
Yeah, do you like them? Yeah, I like your jacket. I like the back of your jacket. That's got some detail on it. I'll ask Tony... It's going well. I'll ask Tony some questions taken from real TV quiz shows, and all you have to do is pick the answer a contestant actually thought was right. Does that make sense?
The stupidest of the stupid ones.
Not the stupidest of the stupids, but the one you think that some idiot thought was the correct answer to the question.
When you say idiot, are you really saying American?
Yes. Which Cuban guerrilla leader died in 1967? A. Karl Marx. B. Che Guevara. Or C. Coco.
I know somebody thought that the guerrilla leader was a real gorilla.
Yeah.
I think somebody said Coco. Is that right?
Try B. Try B. Try C. Try. Maybe
Okay,
try
then
B.
I'll go with B, but I think somebody would have said C.
Let's see if Tony's right. The answer, Che Guevara.
Yeah, what does he do?
He doesn't exist.
Okay.
It's probably not the best thought-out game we've ever done. Wellington is the capital of which country? A. England. B. Beefland.
This country, Beefland. Do we need a visa?
Or C. Middle Earth.
If it was in America, most Americans think that all that like Harry Potter and wizardry stuff and all of that, they think that's like they think Middle Earth is in England. I would say somebody would think that it was C.
He's right, ladies and gentlemen.
These people are from Texas, man. They not.
Who is Kevin Rudd? A. The President of Austria. B. A friend of SpongeBob SquarePants. Or C. Elmer Rudd's brother.
You know what? I must be from Texas too, because I don't know who Kevin Rudd is either.
Our illustrious and noble leader.
Yeah, but see, with those game shows, they try to trick you.
Did you want to phone a friend?
I ain't got no friends in Australia. I would say someone said A. C. Can I change?
Yeah.
Someone said B?
Someone said B.
Really?
Oh, B, did you say?
Yeah.
That's it. B, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Wood. Woo-hoo. Lovely, Tony. Thank you. Wow, look at that. Very nice. Oh.
That game made us look stupid.
Are you stupider than a 5th grader, Julia Zemiro?
Probably. Can I do that? Can I do that?
Oh, okay.
Not quite a 5th grader kissing the teacher. Anyway. Gosh, this is fun, isn't it? Being quizzed by the quizzer.
How is it? Is it different?
It is different. It's very odd because I want to take control and take the cards off of you.
Oh, yeah. Go on,
All
then,
right.
try. What was the name of the Wright brothers' plane? A, Titanic. B, Apollo 11. Or C, Led Zeppelin.
I want to go for the logical ones. Is that wrong?
No.
Look, anything that goes in the sky is a Zeppelin, so I'm going to say Led Zeppelin. C, it couldn't have been Titanic. No one's that dumb. Or was it Apollo 11 because it goes very high in the air? Let's go B. Or A.
I can't believe it.
Is there another option?
Oh, I don't think we can
And I
give you that
don't
one.
need to find a friend. No, I'll go with Led Zeppelin. That's what I said at the
Okay.
beginning. Led Zeppelin. C.
Sadly, no, Titanic.
That's... Okay, switch it. Right, okay.
The really sad thing is I'd already given you 5 points for it, never had to scrub it out.
I'm changing my tactic
Okay.
now. I'm going to go for dumb now, right? I'm going really dumb now.
Okay. Who was known as the lady with the lamp?
Good.
A, Linda Lampleith. B, Florence Lampingale.
No! You're making these up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or C, Monica Lewinsky. Lady with the lamp. Who was she? Linda Lampleith?
Who are
Florence
these people?
Lampingale? Or Monica Lewinsky?
This is clearly an American show, Tony, because they're all American answers.
Well, you know who Monica is, right?
Huh?
You know, she... You know
I know
Mon-
who she is.
She doesn't need a lamp.
No way.
She was more the lady with the lump.
What's the dumbest answer? C.
Don't trust them, they're idiots.
Help me. Yeah, that's the dumber answer. Thank you, young man. I'm going to say A.
They're right, you're right. What's so special about Harry Potter?
Well,
A, he has glasses. B, he replaced Colonel Blake on MASH.
I love it.
Or C, he's third in line for the throne.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Let her do one by herself, for God's sake, will you?
I think that one spoke to us all, didn't it? I'm going to have to say C.
Then you would be right.
Oh.
Please thank Julia Zemiro. Coming up, Hot Spot.
It's good news week.
Up here, a bunch of hard-hitting questions about the news of the week. Down there, our stars and the flat plastic urinal cake we call the Hot Spot Pooper Team. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. What message would you like to send to China?
Doesn't matter what the message is, but I'd like to whisper it to someone. Have them whisper it to someone.
What can politicians do to make themselves as trusted as prostitutes?
They could put out for cash. Oh, they do.
Instead of election campaigns, just tiny saucy ads in the back of the local newspapers.
They could actually complete the job once we pay them.
When they do a campaign, they should get some stats involved. So it should be like Kevin 07 inches.
Instead of scooters, what's a better way for old people to get around?
Push each other along in one of those shopping trolleys with a faulty wheel.
Seriously, if you really want old people to move very quickly, just get yourself a black cape and a scythe. Whoa!
Tony.
Okay, I really have no complaints about the old people on the little scooters, because in America, the old people don't have that many scooters. They just actually drive cars. And in Florida, there's a lot of old people. Like, it's more old people in Florida than it is in heaven. You don't understand.
What activities would you like to see Kevin Rudd doing topless?
None.
I would like to see him putting his shirt back on.
Tassels go this way. Tassels go that way.
What lessons have we learned from the global financial crisis?
Oh,
Don't ever vote for George Bush.
Strange enough, the poor are edible.
What would you like to do with Senator Bill Heffernan?
Yep. Make him an AFL goalkeeper.
I'd like to get Bill Heffernan and engage him in an interesting political debate. And he'd be like, "Ah," and I'd be like, but I said,
This could take billions of dollars and years of research, but with cloning, can't we just lock him in a room with Bill Heffernan?
What's an inappropriate song for a funeral?
I'm coming up, so you better get this party started.
Actually, a true story. At my father-in-law's wake, when we got back to the club after the funeral, my job was to play the music. And I thought I'd set up Frank Sinatra's Come Fly With Me because he'd been a pilot. But the wrong CD was in the wrong case, so instead as everyone walked in, Elton John's I'm Still Standing. My wife tore me a new one.
You say it best when you say nothing at all.
The last one now. Where would you like to grow a new set of teeth?
Yeah.
look, anywhere so long as I can still reach it with a toothbrush.
Okay, this is as if I was a 5th grader. I would like to have teeth in my nose so I can eat boogers.
I've always thought, imagine if you had, like, teeth in your ass.
And you haven't?
Imagine just waking up in the middle of the night and your bum's just in the fridge eating a leg of lamb. The wife comes out and goes, "What's... I don't know, my ass is eating a leg of lamb." "It's not me, honey. Ass is hungry."
I'd also like to have teeth in my ass so that when my mum says to me, "Tom, you should chew your food," I'll say, "It's all right, I'll get it on the way out."
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Strange But True is next. time to see what our teams have concocted with their strange but true clues. Claire, Tony, Fiona, you had the grill.
Happy.
Also had the carving knife. God, it scares me. And this.
Food, glorious food. Hot sausage and mustard to everybody. While we're in the mood. Cold jelly and custard. Please pudding and saveloys. What next is the question? Rich gentlemen have it, boys. Indigestion. Food. Marvellous food. Magical food. Fabulous, fabulous food. Oh, not even I can
Okay.
Like a meadow lark.
Tom is allowed to have a crack now.
Was that your... I just want to ask you, was that your closing number in Brisbane at that gig? Was that your finale? No?
I'd love to know.
Ah,
You know
what's
what this
the
could
tragic-
be?
I think I don't really need this. I think the food thing, because I don't know the answer to this, but because that's a bit Cockney, so I think it's English.
We Australians, you Americans, been doing it for ages, but the English getting into, you know, dealing with a financial crisis by
Yes.
scraping it up off the road and serving it to their nearest and dearest. Something like that?
What do the Poms run over? What is that?
Hedgehogs.
Hedgehog. Maybe that's a
That's
hedgehog.
not funny.
I don't think this is a hedgehog.
Why would you laugh at that? They do run over hedgehogs.
Surely this is a badger. This would be a badger, wouldn't it?
That's like a skunk or something.
That could be the whole cast of The Wind in the Willows, right there.
Moly.
I'm going to give it to you.
Hey! You hear that, little fella?
Cooking with roadkill isn't a new idea, but UK chap Jonathan McGowan has taken it one delightful step further. He's throwing roadkill dinner parties. Jonathan loves to entertain with dishes like rat stew and fox fricassee. He also throws 60s theme nights featuring small cubes of cheddar stuck on the quills of a scooped-out hedgehog.
Oh, hang on. Is that one of those things that you do which is a joke, or is it a real thing?
What, the scooped-out hedgehog?
Yeah.
That's a joke.
That's a joke. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. I didn't know. The guys are mental, maybe?
No, he invites people around, it serves them all the food, and they eat all the food, and then at the end, he goes, ha-ha! The food you've been eating is roadkill.
Whoa! He tells them at the end?
Yes.
With knives around?
It does. Of course, roadkill is much better in Australia, where we have marsupials with pouches. You can stuff a possum into a wombat, into a wallaby, into a roo. And for dessert, sugar gliders. You can't stop at one. Mikey, Julia, Tom, you had... You had the clown with a bit of reflux.
Oh, I am so sad on the inside. Oh, boo-hoo.
We also had the... Oh, no, you can still going?
Yeah, I'm going to stab you in the car park after the show.
We also have a ring.
There we go. That's what it'll look like if New Zealand gets the Olympics. Like we didn't quite finish it, but there you go.
And finally, this haunting song.
Okay, you got to clap in time already. You don't know what you'll find. Why don't you come with me, little girl, on a magic carpet ride? And you don't know what very good we can see. Why don't you tell your dreams to me? Fantasy will set you free, Glenn. You won't know what very good you will find. Why don't you come with me, little girl, on a magic carpet ride?
Gorgeous. What's it all about?
I'm very excited to say that I know the answer to this.
How does
is-
Steppenwolf fit into it? That's what I
Well,
want
This is the first time I've ever known what the hell this last bit of the show's on about.
Well, let's face it, this is the most sober you've ever been at the end of the show.
Yeah, well, it's, you're right, it's to do with fairground rides.
Yeah, fairgrounds, yeah.
Magic carpet ride, what's
Yes,
it called? Yeah,
magic
is
carpet
a fairground ride. It's like a merry-go-round or something like that, the actual original.
I think it does a lot more spinning and looping.
Yeah, spinning or something like that. Ring is to do with getting married, and essentially what's happened is a woman has loved a ride so much that she's married a ride. I'm not making it up, it's a true story. It's a condition known as falling in love with inanimate objects. It's like it's a thing that can happen.
It's like marriage. I mean, look, I have to ask the question, are there certain, how can I put this delicately, moves
Yes.
that the ride might make, that she might find...
Enjoyable.
Yeah. Like, remember when you were...
Maybe even just
I'll tell you what, the clown's happy now.
A few weeks ago, we told you about a Japanese man who was in love with his pillow. Well, say hello to church organist Amy Wolf, who has a condition that makes her attracted to inanimate objects. See that ride that she's on? Amy is going to marry it. She made the decision after a courtship of 3,000 rides with the 25-metre gondola. So it won't be a white wedding. And the relationship wasn't always such a smooth ride. In fact, it's been a roller coaster. And before that, it was a dodging car. Until the wedding, Amy sleeps with a picture of the ride on her ceiling and, this is my favourite part of the story, carries its spare nuts and bolts around to feel close to it. See, she doesn't need to marry it. She's already got him by the nuts. Stay tuned, Fairy Floss. Fast Money is up next.
It's Good News Week. It's Good News Week.
Here it is, the game that disappears before your eyes. Kevin Rudd's Fast Money. A 26-year-old man in Michigan has been arrested for tormenting a police unit that arrived at his apartment. What did he do? Yes?
He barked at his police dog and sent his police dog nuts.
He did, indeed. He began barking at the police dogs, causing him to become very excited and very aggressive. Fiona O'Loughlin off the piss. A female teacher in Kuala Lumpur is in trouble after punishing a student she caught with a cigarette and a lighter. What was his punishment?
She did the old dad trick. She made him smoke the whole pack.
42 cigarettes in 2 hours, one after the other. That's what she forced him. The school apologised, saying, "This is not normal. We don't do that often."
You know, I was born smoking. True story. My mum, when she was having me, right, she used to be a nurse.
Because it's a true story doesn't mean we have to hear it.
Yes. Seriously, I was a footling breech. My feet were coming out of my mum, right? And her friend, who was a nurse, looked at it and said, "Oh, shit, Deirdre, there's a pair of purple feet sticking out." She said, "Here, you have a cigarette. I'll go get the doctor." I had 3 cigarettes before I was born. Anyway.
And look how funny you are.
Yes.
I never smoke inside with my children, ever.
Is that one of
No.
the stories you had to tell in rehab?
No. If I need a cigarette, they have to go out.
A donut shop in California has been accused of insensitivity and bad taste by health campaigners. Why?
They're doing really gross things with their donuts. Like, stop! No, they're doing...
You don't know her, Lachlan.
Shit, I do so.
Shit, I do so is not an answer.
Shut up, Vicky. They're doing gross things with donuts. Like, they call one a psycho donut, and it's like got blood coming out of its head. Or
Yes, yes, she did know.
You are saving the day.
I'm now with Tom. I liked it better when you drank. You got nothing right.
I tell you what, it's weird to see her competitive as well.
I'm right here.
She could never hear that well in the past. Well, you're so far behind, I really want to give you the last one, but I'm going to throw it open.
Oh.
Okay.
Police in Germany had to rescue a woman from a locked car after it began to overheat in the sun. What was different about this woman?
Oh,
Go on.
because she was drunk. It's a bride. It was a wedding day. She was passed out in the car on vodka.
You know, it's
What an
scary
idiot.
how much she now knows. So, in the compost heap tonight, Claire Hooper, Tony Woods and Fiona O'Loughlin scored a scrappy 125 points. Mulching Mikey Robbins, Julia Zemiro and Tom Gleeson on 105 points. You know, you might have lost Dancing with the Stars, but you certainly took it across the line here tonight. Don't forget 10.com.au/GNW is the place to find the podcast, go behind the scenes, or get the recipe for cooking every kind of roadkill using only a pop-up toaster. So we say, baby, you can ride my gondola, and leave you with the good news for the week ahead. Sydney will host a water-saving expo. It's like Sexpo, but not as wet. Australia's top 500 private companies will be announced. Not so private now. On Friday, 2 million daffodils will be on sale for Daffodil Day, where everyone will be asked to buy a daffodil and stick it up their nose to raise awareness of the plight of 2 million daffodils senselessly killed every year. For Daffodil Day. You can take part in the 2009 Taste of Melbourne, or you can get the same experience by staying at home and drinking beer through a scarf.
That's true.
And in Gympie, it's the National Country Music Muster, with its highlight, the shearing, crutching and mulesing of Keith Urban. Good night.